off the cuff. I'm Corey Knowles here from the Daily Statesman this morning, and here with Dr. Nicholas Steele. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you.
Good morning.
Dr. Steele is the outgoing superintendent of schools at Bloomfield R14, and we came in to talk a little bit today about a project they've got going on. I understand you just awarded a contract for the safe room.
We have. The contract is still under its final stages of wording and to get finally adopted by FEMA, but we anticipate that'll happen soon, and we'll be able to sit down with Sides Construction and start the work on the project.
Wow, that's something. Now tell me, how did this whole thing come about? It's been going on for a while.
It has. And normally it probably doesn't take it this long to get a project like this going, and some schools have had some successes doing it quicker than we have. But this process began in 2009 when I knew a couple of the engineers who were familiar with these types of projects, and I asked them to come by, and I invited superintendents from around the area, all over Stoddard County, to come in. And we sat down around our board table and just talked about how these projects are developed, what they're designed to do, and what types of hoops and hurdles we would need to go through to be able to get an application approved. And so from there, our application went to Jefferson City, to SEMA, and then on to the FEMA office in Kansas City. And so that's what led us up to the process where we are right now.
Oh, wow. Now, what is, for some of our viewers here who might not know, explain what a safe room is.
You know, there are lots of different types of rooms or facilities that you can do with this type of grant, but by and large, what FEMA's goal is to provide a place where people in a community could be safe, first and foremost, from a tornado. But secondly, these facilities also are safe rooms for earthquake protection too, as much as we know that we can be that safe.
To what extent that's possible.
That's right, yes. And so some of these are new buildings that stand on their own, which is like what we're going to be building. Some are rehab of an existing facility, if that's possible. Some, I know of some situations where schools have reconfigured their hallways, where they basically create this concrete encased hallway, and it becomes the safe room.
Oh, wow.
So there are lots of different options. Of course, it all involves a lot of steel and a lot of concrete.
Yes, I bet it does.
Yeah. This particular facility that we're going to be building will be a standalone facility. It's 66 feet wide and 128 feet long. And so it's about 8,600 square feet. We'll accommodate the entire community of Bloomfield. Our catchment was a half-mile radius from the school.
Okay.
So basically, that was the population of people that we used to create the grant program and to get that 8,600 square feet. Now, if anyone is driving down Highway 25 or in Highway J, and they see a tornado coming and they want to stop at this facility, they can do that.
Yeah.
They'll always be welcome. Anyone can be welcome when there's a hazard approaching, so long as we still have the doors open. We have a 30-page manual that tells us how and when we start closing those doors.
Really?
So it's a very precise system. It's a very particular way that we have to operate this facility, but it's intended to provide that safety for everyone who needs it.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a neat deal. It really is. And it's really quite the bargain. They pay a good chunk of it, don't they?
They do. Our project is about $1.6 million, and we're getting $1.1 million from FEMA for this facility. So the district is out about $500,000. And the nice thing about this facility is you can design those in such a way that you can use them for other things.
Yeah.
For instance, ours is going to have a huge multi-purpose room in it. We'll be able to use it for concerts and PTO programs and different things that when we invite the public to come in and watch and see what the kids can do.
That might have better acoustics.
And that I hope has better acoustics. You're exactly right. And it also will have a full-size basketball and volleyball floor on it, we have really all throughout the year, we have a lot of backlog of time that different groups need a place to practice.
Yeah.
You know, from any of our athletic teams to our musical programs, our band program, our cheerleaders. There are just a whole host of things that need to be done throughout the year, and they need a space to
Yeah.
practice. So this particular facility, when it's not being used as a tornado shelter,
Yes.
and we hope we never have to use it for that,
That's right.
can be used for any of those activities as well. It also we have a complete protocol built into the program where people in the community can book this facility.
Oh, wow.
So if maybe there's the city of Bloomfield has an activity that they want to do for the people of Bloomfield, they can book that facility.
Some
We can
kind of
make
a public hearing or something?
right.
Or
That's exactly right, and we can make that available to them. We can make the seating available to them. Of course, it's ADA accessible. It'll be heated and cooled 24/7. So it's one of those facilities that is intended to do a lot of different things for
That's
people.
wonderful.
Yes.
That'll be a good deal for the school. What kind of time frame they looking at? Any idea?
Yeah, we like I say, we've got the final touches we're putting on the contract right now. Our attorney has looked at the contract, and so we hope to start the digging within the next month. Mm-hmm. And our target date for completion is March of 2013, and that's going to be kind of tight.
Yeah.
But we think we can meet that simply because this particular structure is it's almost prefab because it's going to be made with what they call tilt-up concrete walls. Mm-hmm. So those walls will be produced off-site.
They'll bring them in.
They'll bring them in on trucks. And so what the contractors will start doing is they'll start with the footing and all the foundation and the plumbing and electrical that goes there. And then they'll start bringing in these walls, and they'll set those walls up with heavy equipment. And even the roof structures will be made out of these double T-bars of concrete.
Oh, wow.
One piece, 66 feet long.
Oh, my
so,
goodness.
Yeah, they're going to be huge. This is really going to be
I'm
something
anxious to see them haul those trucks through town.
It's just going to be the neatest thing.
Oh, wow.
But so it kind of just comes together like Lincoln logs, if you will. And so it creates this big square concrete box. That's what it does. So because of the modular development of the project, it won't take a lot of time once we really get underway and get things going, because while one crew is working on the groundwork, the other crew is pouring these concrete walls, setting them aside, getting them ready to bring them to us.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's just
that is pretty neat.
It's a pretty awesome project. The walls, by the way, will be 12 inches thick.
Oh my goodness.
There is so much concrete goes into this, but you have to do that to be able to design a facility that can withstand that F5 tornado.
Yeah.
And that uplift from that F5 is supposed to be something extraordinary, and so obviously it's got to be that type of building.
I'm just impressed that there's a structure they believe can survive one.
Just,
some of the footage I've seen is just unreal.
Yeah. So far, these types of designs have stood the test.
Really?
They have. I've not personally experienced that, but we're told the engineering on these particular type of facilities can handle it.
Now you are very experienced though with tornadoes in school districts.
Unfortunately, yes, I've had a little experience at Caruthersville before coming to Bloomfield, and we didn't have one of those structures, and we had a lot of damage to our current structures there, and so it's a huge learning curve, and it's the type of thing you don't ever want to have to do again.
That's right.
And but you learn, and you learn about how to stay safe.
Yeah.
And that's really important for all of us, and certainly I would never want anything to happen while the kids are on campus.
Yeah.
But if they are on campus, we want to make sure we can ensure their safety.
That's right. You want to know that where your kids are during the day is the safest building in town.
That's right. I think the parents have entrusted their most valuable thing in their whole life to our hands that day, and it's really important that we take charge of that.
It is. Well, Dr. Thiel, you also, this is the end of your tenure here at Bloomfield, isn't it?
It is. I'll be finishing up the 30th of June at Bloomfield and actually retiring from K-12 education. I'm very fortunate in that I've been offered a position with Southeast Missouri State University to be the director of the Malden Regional Campus.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, would remember that Dr. Rick Hux has been down there
Yeah.
for a number of years, and I get a chance to follow Rick, and I think that's going to be just another chapter in my personal life, but
Yeah.
it's one that I'm looking forward to. But I carried a box of some of my personal things out of the office and put them in my pickup yesterday evening, and that was a pretty hard walk. It was about 50 yards, but it was a pretty hard walk.
I'll bet it was.
It's been a really good time for me at Bloomfield, and I've had the chance to visit and work with some very good people. My Board of Education is probably the most outstanding group of individuals, and they've had to make some hard decisions in the past 4 years, but
Yep.
but they've done it, you know. And the people of Bloomfield have embraced me and my career and what I set out to do, and you know, I hope that things will just continue. They've got some extraordinary people lined up to keep it going, and
Yeah.
Ms. Hill is coming in July 1st, and I think excited to hit the ground running, and I really believe the community will give her the support she needs.
Oh, I do too. I think so as well. Also did some shifts in administration in several of the schools, right?
We did, yes. We've got Miss James will be staying at the elementary principal's position, but Dustin Hicks is coming back to the district
That's cool.
as the
That's
new high
great.
school principal, and we have now a vacancy at the middle school principal level, and
Yeah.
not sure exactly how that's going to go. I know Miss Hill and Mr. Hicks and Miss James will be working together to try to develop the best solution they can
Yeah.
for that too.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're going to do fantastic at SEMO, Dr. Steele, and I've enjoyed working with you over the years.
Thank you.
Imagine I still will down there. So.
I'm hoping we will stay in contact,
All
yes.
right. Well, that's great. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to Watch Off the Cuff today. I'm Corey Knowles here with Dr. Steele this morning, and we'll be back next week with another guest. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, folks.